Just when I was saying that Sasaki was one of my personal favorite characters of Gintama, I see this episode. And then he dies. What got me with this episode was the troll, but then the final scene. Only Gintama can work you up to that extent in an episode and still keep it serious. The middle portion of the episode, when Kondo and Sasaki, you thought they were dead, I was honestly crying. I was just straight up fucking crying. Because I'm like, out of all the characters in this series, Kondo dies. That's what crossed my mind. But I'm like, Sasaki dies. And I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? And I was really fucking upset. Even when you see Gintoki, like, fight. And he looks exactly like, Kondo. I'm like, oh my god. It really just hit you. And when you saw the scene where he looked like he was limp, I'm like, oh my god, he's actually fucking dead. He's actually fucking dead. But then we find out that he used one of those pills to make him into a state near death. And the way this was done, I would have given Gintama some hell if it would have been done any other way. But thanks to the pill being kind of foreshadowed, and it being like one of the main plot points earlier on in this arc, I'm actually not upset with that troll at all. That was a very, very good move by Gintama to work up the emotions and then really give you that dramatic finale of this episode. That right there, that fucking hit me. That final part of this episode, it's not that Sasaki died, it's the meaning he leaves behind. That's what really hit me. When you see the flashbacks of him thinking about what he should name his daughter, and he's going for so many different names. Like, so many names. And this has been one of the main key plot points of Gintama when it comes to this arc. And when you see him going for these names, he's shuffling around. You can see how long he's been working at this. You see paper all behind him, scrunched up. You can see he's been working on this name for a very, very, very long time. And to keep him in character, he's like, I'm one of the elites. I need to, have a really good name since I'm an elite. And the way he does that, it keeps him in character. And then looking at his character development or characterization we've gotten from him in this arc, it really just hits you. And as he's going through these names, you're just seeing the different meaning, like, gentle child, strong-willed child, and you're like, holy shit, all these names, they sound so good, but he doesn't want them. And I love how Gintama threw in that comedy segment where how the mother was like, why don't we just name her Vagina? And I'm like, are you fucking serious? Like, of all scenes, like, you would throw in a comedy segment like that in this type of sad moment, and I feel like that actually worked. The mangaka of this series knows how to use comedy and dark tones properly, and knows how to execute them and shift them around to make it really uplifting or very sad at any given moment. And as it slowly built up, you got to the name, Nobume, and you found out what the name meant. And I think many of us can agree on this. Not many of us probably understand certain meanings behind names unless we're told about the meaning behind the names in the anime or manga, or if you have some basic understanding of Japanese. And when you actually see the meaning behind these names, it really just hits you. And when you find out that the name means child of faith, it hits you because you realize what that means. And I don't know if everyone interpreted this scene exactly like I did, but when I saw the child of faith name, that's what Nobume stands for, this is exactly what hit me. When he says, like, I'm an elite, and so she's definitely going to be, like an elite child and all that, and, he chooses that name for her. When he says child of faith, it's like he's saying, I have faith that she's going to be all of these things. She's going to be all these names I've chosen. All these names I have written down in the papers behind me, scrunched up. She's going to be all these. And that's how I interpreted the child of faith. He has faith that she will be all these things, the gentle child, strong-willed child, so on. And I'm like, bro, Gintama, stop. That fucking hurts my heart so bad, because Sasaki, his character, I always didn't really care about him. I talked about this a couple episodes back. I didn't really care about Sasaki. I never really cared much about him. And in this arc, it really just opens your eyes up to his character. And then when you see that reveal of how Nobume, she did not kill his family. That really gets you right there. You're like, oh my god. You're telling me that Sasaki's family was not killed by Nobume, but Nobume was carrying on this burden the entire time of acting like she killed Sasaki's family. And you're like, this right here is some very good fucking writing. Like, this writing right here, I know some might disagree with what I'm about to say, but I gotta admit this, and I will give credit when credit is due, especially when I see it. The writing here is on that level of, I think, some Hunter x Hunter scenes I have seen. Yeah, I'm not even joking. The writing of this right here is not exactly similar because there's different circumstances and meanings behind Hunter x Hunter, but I'm just saying the level of writing, the care and dedication to these characters and the scene. It's that Hunter x Hunter level, and I'm like, holy shit, this is just amazing. By far, I said this a couple episodes back, that was my favorite episode. I have to take that back. This right here is my favorite episode of Gintama. Hands down. My favorite episode of Gintama. When you see him die and he falls, and he's like, the message was finally delivered, it goes so well with his character, his final scene. It saddens me. We lost a very good character. We lost a very fucking good character. And it shocks me to see how it was done. Definitely some good writing. Very good writing. I'm dumbfounded. Just the writing was just too damn good for me. I'm fucking wrecked right now. I got fucking wrecked. I'm dead as fuck. So, let's talk about the Gintoki scene. That's a scene I do want to talk about. I briefly mentioned how Gintoki, he appeared to look exactly like Kondo, and he's like, fight. And I wonder exactly what that means, because when I see that scene, it makes me wonder, why was there, a correlation between these two characters? I mean, we know Gintoki was picking up the mantle for Kondo, but I mean, does this imply foreshadowing for the future or something that's going to happen? Because I'm very curious about that, because the way Gintoki was being represented as Kondo. And if that really does happen, since if we look at these previous arcs of Gintama, there's been a character death every single arc. I mean, we have the Shogun, and then now we have Sasaki that has died. And if Gintama continues this, that means that there might be a character death every single arc. And if so, that scares me, because we already have been told that the mangaka is reaching the final conclusion of the series, the final arc. And because of this, we know for a fact that there's going to probably be a lot more dark moments in the series. I mean, look what Gintoki said. It's going to be dark before it's bright. Now, that's not the exact line he said, but you get my point. It's going to be very, very dark. The darkness is going to swallow everything before the sun comes out and breaks through the dark clouds. And when you think about this, the foreshadowing, Gintoki did about these scenes, it really opens your eyes up to what most likely is going to happen before the series is said and done. So, yeah. Wonderful episode. 10 out of 10 episode. 10 out of 10. The Nobume reveal, to Sasaki's final character development and characterization, to what Kondo did, even Gintoki doing what he did for Kondo, even Hijikata fighting like he did. All these scenes wrapped into one made a fantastic episode that will be hard to beat this year. I'm willing to bet right now, it's going to be rare to probably find an episode better than this for 2016. It's going to be that fucking hard. I mean, we already could guess that it's hard enough to beat, Gintama episodes when it really tries. But this episode right here is on a level that is very rare to beat. And I just don't believe many anime from this year is going to beat this episode. Not many. There will be probably some. Mob Psycho, maybe. Maybe Boku no Hero Academia, depending on how it's done. Maybe JoJo, of course, depending on how it's done. But I'm just going to say it's going to be very hard. Tough competition for anime series to beat this episode of Gintama, especially when it comes to the meaning. So yeah, that's my conclusion on this episode. I'm sorry I didn't do a live reaction. I just wanted to sit down, have a cup of coffee, watch it. And it didn't really dawn on me that, I would have to do a live reaction. I saw a couple of you saying I should do a live reaction when I was already done watching it. But I thought I didn't have to do anymore because, the last week's episode with the reveal of Shoyo, I just didn't think I needed to do another one. And then seeing this, I'm like, holy shit. So I should have done a live reaction, but I can't now because obviously I've already watched it. But I'll tell you this right now. I will tell you this. When I was watching the episode, I cried like a little bitch. I did. I cried like a little bitch at that Kondo scene. It trolled the fuck out of me. And then that Sasaki scene, I was fucking crying. So, there you go. If that matters at all, if that means anything, there you go. You all have a wonderful day or night wherever you live. Please be safe. Chibi out.